are delighted to showcase a passionate teacher who is a double postgraduate in English from the University of Calcutta, India, and University of Sussex, the United Kingdom. So besides being an international certified career coach and an official ambassador of International Modern United Nations, she's also working as a secondary school English teacher and as an English communication specialist. She's always keen to learn new things related to teaching and learning pedagogies and the use of IT in the 21st century teaching process. Loves to research in multiple areas, debate on ongoing topics in the generation, attend online workshops and sessions, and continuously upgrade academically to fit in the market demand in delivering the best to the children. She is Rayel Basu representing India. Her session title is Vocabulary in the Learning. Hello, Rayel. How are you?
Hello, Anusha. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I am very well. We are very well, and we are very excited for your presentation. The stage is yours.
Yes. Quickly, before I start the session, good morning to each and everyone present over here. My name is Rayel Basu and I'm presenting India, and my topic for today is vocabulary in the making. So without wasting much time, I'll quickly share my screen. Is the screen visible, Anusha?
Yes, it is. Thank you, Rayel.
All right. So yes, a quick introduction about myself. I've completed my major part of studies from Calcutta because I'm from West Bengal and I'm a double postgrad. I have done my master's in English from the University of Calcutta and journalism and media studies from the University of Sussex. Apart from that, I have also got a certified trainer degree for teaching English as a foreign language, and have got some ideas into career coaching, which is from Mindler, the foundation level. I have also been the official ambassador of IMUN, and presently I'm working as PGT English teacher at MIT Walpi School in Pune. And apart from teaching English, my major also includes English communications. So I look for the LSRW scales for both students and teachers. All right. So as I have said, today my session is on vocabulary. Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. Some famous words by Benjamin Franklin, American writer. So yes, as we talk about vocabulary, I believe most of us know a very less number of words because we get to know words from different sources, but we do not know what's the application of words. Like, where do we have to use those words? Whenever we get to know some words, we use it, but we forget in which context we are using those words. So I'll take quickly 30 seconds of your time, and if you can quickly go through this, and then I'll follow my slide up. So the question is spelling important? Like, do we consider spelling as important? So if I start reading this slide, it says, only smart people can read this. So I'm smart, so I'm reading it out. And when I read out, I'm not even focusing on what the spellings are. The spellings are all mixed up. And according to a research at Cambridge University, it states that only the first and the last letter has to be in the right place. Other than that, whatever is the structure or the word itself, like even if it is a total mess, one can read it out without a problem. Couldn't believe that I could actually understand what I was reading. So when I first read this slide, I was not sure if I'll be able to read it. Because the phenomenal power of the human mind, according to a research at Cambridge University, states that it doesn't matter what the order of the letters are in a word. The only important thing is the first and the last letter be in the right place. Having said that, yes, so here, as you all can see, the spelling itself is a mess. The amount of grammar and usage aroused today is shaking. The spelling of grammar and usage is not correct. But when I read it out, I'm not focusing on the spelling because it makes sense. So, not to confuse between spelling and vocabulary. So is spelling really important, or is it really important what words we are using while we speak? According to the American Heritage Dictionary, vocabulary is all the words of a language. It can be any.
Hi, Rayel. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but your screen went blank. Yeah, it's appearing now. Thank you so much.
Is it visible now?
It is visible now. Thank you, Rayel.
All right, thanks. Yes, so be it any language across any part of the world, vocabulary is all the words of one particular language, and it totally depends on the command of the person, like the words we speak and the context in which we speak, whether it makes it understood by the person ahead of us or not. So it is the sum of words used by, understood by, at the command of a particular person. So as I speak, I'm using words. I'm using words that is related to my context. So am I using it perfectly? Is the application of words correct? That makes it more sensible. So how do we guess whether it is easy or difficult? Like in a language, there can be multiple number of words. But how do we know whether we understand it or not? How do we guess whether vocabulary is easy or difficult? Well, so learning and mastering vocabulary is a must. We need to know words in order to be able to speak, in order to be able to write, in order to be able to read. So without knowing them, we cannot communicate. If I do not know what I have to say in some particular context, I'll not be able to talk to anyone. I'll not be able to write, comprehend, or understand what the person is saying to me or what I am saying to the person. For example, the tsunami paralyzed Tokyo on Friday morning. So if we do not know the meaning of the word paralyzed, it will not make sense to the person who is listening to us. Okay? If we have learned and known the meaning of paralyzed, the sentence becomes easy to understand. How many of us have heard of these terms? I guess it's a very less number. My first word, bro, ha, ha, ha. So what is meaning? A noisy and overexcited reaction to something. We generally use the word in short form, ha, ha, when we are messaging or talking to someone. But how many of us know this word? We do not know this word, all right? It is a funny word. The ha, ha is literally already built into this structure, as I have already said.
Hi, Rayel. I'm sorry to interrupt you. The screen went blank again. Is it possible for you to not maximize the screen and just present it in a PowerPoint view?
Better?
Yeah. Yes, that's better. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay. So, yes, sorry for the inconvenience, everyone. Hello.
Please continue, Rayel.
Yes, someone is unmuted. Yes. All right. So I have got two words over here, bro, haha, and nincompoop. So yes, we generally use the word haha, but we do not know what is this bro, haha, right? Same for nincompoop. We prefer saying someone a foolish person or a stupid person. But how many of us know this word? How many of us know the meaning of this word and the context where it should be used? It is again a funny word. So my purpose of using these words in my presentation is to show that there are so many words around us which we do not know because we do not know the application of the words. Once we know the application of the words, it's absolutely fine to use those words. Like if we are using bro, haha, when we are smiling out loud or when something is funny, it is used in the right context, but we do not know the words, so we do not use it. So it's very important that when we are learning vocabulary, be it in any language, we need to know the right application of the word. Having said that, our topic for today is to learn vocabulary. And my only one, I would say my only one piece of advice or suggestion to all the educators around there is for any language you teach, for any vocabulary, like whichever language it is, for knowing vocabulary, the first thing that needs to be highlighted is the application of the words. Okay. Yes. So here I have got a small vocabulary quiz for you. I want to see like it will be shown to you itself, like how strong is your vocabulary. So Anusha, can this link be shared with the audience, please? Yes, please.
Hi, Rayel. I've shared the link. Thank you very much.
Yes, yes, thank you so much. So this is for all of you. If you can quickly click on the link, there will be 10 questions. It's a small quiz. And if you can find out like how many words do you actually know? And when the answer will be shown, you will be shocked to see that, yes, you do know the words, but you do not know the other form of the word. So I'll take like 1 or 2 minutes of your time to please solve this quiz. Thank you. All right, I think some of you have attempted the quiz, and if you haven't, you can try out later on. Like every time you attempt the quiz, it will be different questions. It will be reshuffled. So you can attempt the quiz and see actually how many words you know. They are from different different range. So it's not it's not linked to a particular theme. So you can like check it out yourself. Yes. Okay. So vocabulary teaching, like how can we teach vocabulary? There are so many things that we need to keep in mind. As you can see on the screen, the first thing is importance of context. As I have already said from the beginning of my presentation, that the application of the words and the context in which you are using makes it more important on how you use vocabulary in your teaching learning process. You have collocations, you have authentic texts or tasks, whether you are using it correctly or you are using like misuse of words. Catering for learner styles, what the learner actually needs. Now, well, this is a very important point. Like we all have different ways of learning and different styles of learning, right? So my message will be, we need to specially focus on the child itself, like how much the child can absorb. If the child is able to learn only 5 words a day, my suggestion to all the educators will be, please let the child learn only 5 words a day. There is no point in like overburdening the child with a lot of words. There is no point, the child will not learn. So the child can learn 1 word at a time with its meaning and with the application of the word. Learners as discoverers, which means as you learn new words, how much can you apply that into use? How much can you discover more out of it? I mean, when you learn a word, how can you find out its synonym? How can you find out its antonym? That can be another focus of learning vocabulary, because one word in English has got several other words and has got several other opposite words as well. Turning passive vocabulary into active. There are several words, as I have started in the beginning of my session with the word bro, haha, and nincompo, which are in a passive state, which are not active words. So we can make such words into active states so that we know a lot of words together. eliciting the meaning, which means you know the perfect meaning of the word that you use and you do not misuse the words. Recycling and repetition, you are free to repeat the words that you learn as and when you find it important. And the meaning, the pronunciation and the spelling is also important. Vocabulary acquisition, like how can you get hold of vocabulary, like what are the learning strategies? It's a long topic. I do have it at the end of my session. I will tell you the ways by which you can develop your vocabulary. So going by baby steps, number one, dictionary uses. I always prefer using Oxford Dictionary, and I suggest my children as well, my students as well, to do the same. So if you need to learn English, it's a good habit you carry a dictionary with yourself. Guessing, sometimes when we solve unseen passages or when we are doing reading comprehension, we guess the words. Like we do not know the word, but if there is a question and if we are supposed to attempt it, we can read the lines before and after and find out the meaning of the word. Study preferences, what are the study materials you're using, whether it's a very good source or not. For example, if you are learning English from BBC, like nothing better than that. It's a very strong source of learning English. Memory strategies, how much you can remember, how much you can recall from the words that you have learned and how much you're applying. Autonomy, which is independent learning. You have got your own interest of learning words. So there can be several ways. Like I'll share a small incident from my own life. When I was a small child, how I learned vocabulary was when my mother used to take me out on the roads. She used to point out at big banners, big advertisements, and teach me words. Like, this is how you learn, like whether it's A for apple, or there is a word which means something, this is how you use the word in different areas. Note taking, yes, it's a very good strategy of learning, whether it's vocabulary or something else. I always ask my students to keep on taking notes as and when I speak, because you never know which one will be important and when. Social strategies, yes, you get along with people, like you talk to other people, you come across so many things, you can make notes and reuse it in your own instance. Learner's language competency, yes, like how much the learner is able to absorb, how much competent the learner is, how much ready the learner is. That is another major point. And learning English vocabulary comes all from there. All right. Yes, coming to the tiers of vocabulary, there are 3 tiers and they're very simple. Tier 1, the basic or the daily words that we use almost every day. Tier 2, high frequency words that are like you come across some content areas and topics, and they can have multiple meanings as well. And they are particularly referred as academic vocabulary words that you use in your study purpose or something related to academics and education. Tier 3 is low frequency words that are content specific. So if you are learning about physics, or if you are learning about chemistry, so you might be coming across some specific words. So those becomes content specific. Yes. Tier 1 vocabulary, basic familiar words like sad, elephant, walk, baby, red, etc., etc. Like it can be any words that you use in your daily life. Simple words. So as I have said, like you can start with baby steps. You can put in use the words that you use every day. And while you use those words, if you're not sure of the words you're using, you can quickly check in the dictionary and make a note of it as well. And like you can reuse it in your own instance. Tier 2 vocabulary, robust, high frequency words. So particular content areas like bold, fine, amiable, harmony, rare, blush, etc., etc. Academic vocabulary words are generally referred to as Tier 2 vocabulary words, which I would say moderate words, like a little bit higher up the level. Tier 3, as you can see, the words like, for example, photosynthesis comes specifically with plant section. So it is content specific vocabulary that you need when you are learning a particular content or a particular topic. All right. So why vocabulary is important? Like, as I'm speaking to you, you might be asking me at the end of the session, like, why do we need to learn vocabulary? Why do we need to learn new words? What's the reason for that? So a quick video to give you the reason. Just a minute, please. Yeah.
Vocabulary is something everybody says very important.
Anusha, is it audible? Is the voice coming? All right, thank you.
I'm sure you've heard this before. Good vocabulary is very important. You need to learn new vocabulary. But if people understand what you say using the words you already know, why should you learn new words? Well, your vocabulary has more of an impact than you realize on how you communicate and on reading comprehension. So how does your vocabulary help or get in the way of communication and reading? How many words do most people know anyhow? 5,000? 50,000? No, that sounds like a lot. Well, stick around and you'll find out the answers.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Is it possible for you to share the link, YouTube link in a chat box, because the voice is breaking for the video?
All right, I'll do that. I hope that's fine. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the link to the video is in the chat box. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rayel.
Thank you. All right, so you can watch out the video later on. So as this person started speaking, that we hardly know around 5,000 words, 10,000 words, or whatever the number may be, but the main reason for learning new words is to communicate with one another. The lesser number of words you know, the less you communicate, the less you speak, and the less you understand the meaning of what someone is saying to you or you saying it to someone else. All right, yes. Coming to the varieties of words, there are several varieties. I have tried my best to put it down into a few of them. So my first one, so as you can see, there are three examples, 8 and 8, dear and dear, meet and meet. So all of them are pronounced same, but they have got different meaning. I hope that's clear to all of you because these are very basic words. Dear, someone very close to us, and the other dear is an animal. Meeting someone, and meeting is something that you eat. 8, I ate my food, and it is 8 o'clock by the watch, okay? What are these? Homophones. These are homophones that sound the same, but have different meanings and spellings, all right? Next category, what is it called? Saw. There is one saw that we use for cutting something, cutting a log of wood maybe, and I'm seeing something. I saw him yesterday. Bark of the tree and bark of the dog. Again, the words are there, the meaning is different. So what is it called? It's the homograph. Multiple meaning words spell the same but have different meanings. So if I go back, you can see SAW saw, the spelling is the same, but it has got a different meaning. It's not the same. So how many of us know these terms? I bet like not many of us are aware of what is a homophone, what is a homograph, and the other categories as well. Like some other example, we went to the park. My mom has to park the car. So the meaning of park is different. Yes, what is it called? Bat, the animal bat, and a bat with which you play cricket. Park, parking the car, and a park in the garden. Bank, piggy bank, or a bank by the riverside. So yes, what is this? It is called as homonyms. Okay, a word that has the same pronunciation and spelling as another word, but has a different meaning. All right. I would like to present you with a birthday present. So what is this called? Same words, but different meanings and different applications. So If I do not know how many application the word present has, I'll not be able to apply it also in my sentences. I'll only be able to understand one particular meaning with one context. These are heteronyms that are spelled identically but have different meanings when pronounced differently. So interesting, huh? Like we are pronouncing it differently as well. For example, lead and led. So when I say lead, the captain is leading the team. And when I say led, it is the metal that I'm talking about. So these are termed as heteronyms. So going back and seeing what we have learned. So far, we have learned homophones, homonyms, homograph, heteronym, and heterograph. The example of heterograph is as well given. For example, write and write. So when we are writing something, and RIGHT when we talk about something which is correct, or even taking direction right to you, all right? So these are termed as heterograph. So this was a quick recapitulation of the different varieties that we have got: homophones, homonyms, homograph, heteronyms, or heterograph. I am sure not many of us know this because we are acquainted with the terms synonym and antonym, not of all these 5 8s. So my question to the audience, can we learn words from emotions? Like if you do have your answers, if you can please type that in the chat box and I'll quickly make a note of it. Like how many words do you think we can learn from emotions? Like what are the words that comes to your mind when you talk about emotions? Audience, if you can please respond to that. All right, empathy, happy, excited, sad, compassion, anger, sorrow, delighted, upset. Good, good, glad. Yes, so we get to learn so many words from our emotions as well. Like I'll quickly put it down over here. Happy, sad, delighted, angry, upset, gloomy, compassionate, and the list is endless. Loving and like cheerful, disappointed. Yes, so from one umbrella term of emotions, we come across so many words. Yes. So as I have asked you the question, can we learn words from our emotions? Yes, we can. When we talk about emotions, we highlight the word emotions. But how many words come out of that? Happy, sad, delighted, angry, upset. So this list that you can see right in front of you has got so many words that are actually examples of homonyms, homographs, homophones, etc., that I have covered so far. Moving on to my next slide. Vocabulary games. So for improving your vocabulary or for learning vocabulary, there can be several games that can be used for children. There are too many. There can be several strategies as well to expand your vocabulary. These are some fun techniques by which children can actually find it easy and exciting to learn new words. Hangman. So there will be 2 players. First player will think of a word and second player has to guess it before they get hung. So as you can see in the picture, there is a word. Someone is guessing it and just got 2 letters of the word, that is A and M. So both the letters are taken off and the rest of the word, once the word is complete, the person gets hung. So you know the word, okay? Word search. This is a very famous game. I believe some very popular newspapers also have this game. Crossword puzzle kind of, you can call it. So you need to find out new words in the grid. So Anusha, is someone's microphone on? All right. Okay. So you can do it by yourself as well. You can draw a grid of 10 into 10 squares and place as many words as you can, whether you place tier 1 daily usage words, or you find out words that are related to some specific content, and then you try to find out words. This will be a good game because it will help you to think and rethink and find out as well. So there are several skills that are attached with this word search game. Unscrambling the words. So this is a very common technique. So you give a word jumbled up to a child and you ask the child to rearrange the words into perfect order. So you can give a number of words and the child can rearrange it and try to find out the meaning of each of those words. All right. Like, as we have started our presentation with a slide where I've asked whether the spelling is important or not. Yes, spelling is important to some extent. So for that, if we are playing the game unscrambling the words, that becomes more easy. Like if you know the correct spelling of the word, when a jumbled up word is given to you, it will be easy for you to find it out. Word bingo, yes. Say, for example, I talk about a theme of beach. Okay, there can be so many words related to the beach: swimming, sandcastle, water, dolphin, picnic, etc. So when you're playing this game, the person who finds all the words is the winner and calls out bingo, like you got all the words attached to that theme. All right, it can be played with children and is an easy way of learning vocabulary. There are several ways of learning vocabulary. I have tried to give the most common ones and the ones which are exciting and fun to learn. Coming to the end of my presentation, a few tips and techniques of expanding your vocabulary and how you can do it. First one, talk, talk, talk and listen. Be an active listener. The more you listen, the more you understand, the more you comprehend, and the words that you hear is easy for you as well. So you talk to the child, you talk to them when you're having your dinner or when you are out and about, you are reading a book. And as you talk, the more you talk, they get to know a lot of words. And children have got the habit of imitating or copying the adults. So the words that you use, if you use it on a regular basis, they get that into their brain. Second, encourage reading, which to me is the most important point, because the more you read, the more number of words that you come across and your vocabulary becomes strong. There is no alternate to reading. You can read books, articles, journals, magazines, like reading of any sort, and that will help you to strengthen your vocabulary as well. Reading out to the child, yes, this can be applied for little children. Like if you read it out, if you have got a storybook and you read out to the child, and you can develop the inquisitive nature of the child, like the child can ask you questions back. If you can please repeat the line or repeat the word that you had said just now. So this way the child can also learn new words that you are reading out to him. You talk about homework. So when the child gets a homework, there are several words that a child do not understand. So if you help the child out with giving 2-3 words that mean the same, synonyms or antonyms, that helps to build up the vocabulary as well. So when a child gets some homework and they come across a word that do not understand, you can explain the meaning and ask them to rediscover that in their own way. That shall help them to understand the word and the application as well. Swallow the dictionary. Well, this is funny. This is not possible, but yes, it is always a good habit to follow dictionary. As and when you get stuck with a word, I suggest my students to write at least 5 words daily. I have been doing this with all my students. Like I ask them to write and practice, especially those who are really struggling with vocabulary. It's a very good way. It can be with simple words, like it can be a word like a school. What is a school? Like children will not be able to define school, but it will be easy for us. Like someone who knows vocabulary can easily say school is a formal place. School is a place where we get education and organization. So it's it's useful, like if we follow baby steps and go by simpler words in the beginning. Sixth one, practicing formal and informal vocabulary. Yes, this is important because we cannot use all type of words everywhere. If you all quickly recall the two words that are used in the beginning, like nincompoop is a high level word which we hardly use. We generally use foolish or stupid for informal words, but we cannot use this in a formal context, like when we are talking to someone who is higher in authority or deserves respect. Like every one of us deserve respect. My point is, when we are speaking in different areas, we need to be very careful of the words that we use. We cannot use colloquial words in formal space, like the native words, the local words. We cannot use them each and everywhere. So it's important to teach our child the difference between formal words and informal words, and when it can be used, the different situations. And for that, you can ask the child to talk to different people, like they can talk to adults, they can talk to people at their home, and they can find out the application of when to use which word and to whom. Playing word games, which I have said just before few minutes, like to reinforce the meaning of new words, like you can reshuffle and keep playing the words. I have given a vocabulary quiz. There were so many words. You can put down all of those words in the word game and try using it with your students or children. Recasting language. Yes. So wherever it's important, we need to rectify and change the mistakes of the children. They often say the word goed because they do not know the word went. So each and every word, like all the words that we use goes through three forms, which comes under a different branch, like it will be talking about grammar. I'll not go into that. So it's important that when a child is speaking something wrong, we rectify the child, otherwise the mistakes keep on getting repeated. So if the child says the rabbit goed away, we can correct the child. Instead of putting the child down and saying you have done a mistake, we can say it this way: that's right, the rabbit went away. So when you focus on that, the child will realize that the word goed is not applicable and they need to use the word went in place of goed. Watch news round. Yes, so BBC documentaries are a wonderful way of learning English vocabulary. There are multiple number of words that you can use, and you can make notes of that. You can apply it in your own context, and you can encourage your children to watch it over and over again, because that will help them to learn new vocabulary. And all the steps that I have mentioned can be reshuffled so that whenever a child gets stuck, they can revisit and they can relearn the words that they do not recall. Last one. Yes, talking, telling, reading, and jokes. Like even when you are saying a joke, that can include some words that the child doesn't know. So they are funny ways of like engaging little children. Like they might not be very interested in sitting back and learning new words. But if you follow the pattern of reading out a storybook, or if you are reading out jokes to them, they get to know some new words from there as well. And yes, with this, I come to the end of my presentation. And before I conclude, my one advice to each and every one over here is, when you apply words, there can be several ways of learning vocabulary. Please make sure you know the right use of words, and I mean the application of words. And if you are making a mistake, you do not know, it's fine saying that, I'm sorry, I do not know. It's better to accept that, because sometimes we misplace words, we use words that we are not sure of, and that can make a mess out of it. So yes, that's it. And for any questions, I'm here to answer. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rayel. Thank you so much for your amazing presentation on vocabulary, students and teachers. That was really amazing of you. Thank you very, very much. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for Rayel, please register your questions in the chat box and I will be conveying it to Rayel on your behalf. And people from all over the world are tuning in for your presentation, Rayel. We have Silvia Granucci from Italy saying thank you. That was very amazing. Thank you. And we have Vedika Patil saying thank you. We have Manis Poddar saying amazing session. Pooja saying quite informative. Thank you, Rayel. And we have Giriza Jadhav saying thank you, ma'am. I'm assuming I'm assuming that he might be a student. Shagurika Chaurasia saying thank you, ma'am, for the awesome knowledge. Prabha saying thank you, presentation. Thank you from Prabha. She's from India. Marita says thank you for this wonderful presentation. And we have amazing thank yous pouring in from all over the world for you. So thank you so much, everybody. And Jyoti Gupta saying thank you as well. And if you have any questions for Rayel, please register your questions in the chat box. And in the meantime, I do have a question for you, Rayel. My question is, and I got an answer from a teacher already, but I would like to hear it from you as well. So my question is, the effectiveness of teaching vocabulary demands that one has to decide to whom one teaching is and status of given language. For example, first language, second language, or foreign language. You know, words can have layers of meanings like denotative, literal meanings, you know, connotative, figurative, or culture specific, or symbolic, you know, or abstract, or concrete. So how do you deal with this phenomenon while teaching vocabulary?
Well, so this is again like a question, I would say, when we are teaching vocabulary, as I have spoken about the 3 tiers of vocabulary, as you are talking about figurative meaning of the word or metaphorical meaning of the word, that I believe comes at a very later stage. First, we need to go by the basic words, all right? Like it again comes under different parts. Like if I talk about metaphorical meaning of a word, I'm from a literature background, so I'll try to take it in that way. A word can have several meanings, but we can teach words that can be used in daily speaking. Or if I'm taking class of people who are like handling some business, my way of teaching vocabulary to them will be related to business itself. So it can be on the content areas, subject specific, and the application that they will focus into.
Thank you so much, Rayel. Thank you so much. And we have again pouring in lots and lots of thank yous for your presentation. Wonderful presentation, Rayel. If anybody ever, and we have questions like, can we have the recorded session in our mails? Of course you can. We will be sending, well, we will be showcasing every recordings on our platform, educationinfluence.com, and we will be sending you, each and every one of you, emails with details very, very soon after the event. So if you have any more questions for Rayel, please, this is your stage. Please have yourself in a chat box, and I will be conveying it to her. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very, very much. Okay, we have Jyoti Gupta saying, for subject-specific vocabulary, teachers are encouraged to have it in bilingual.
Yes, like in India, like currently I'm teaching in a central board school. So according to them, it is always beneficial if you teach a child in 2 languages. That makes them easy to understand, because children come from different backgrounds. So they might not be able to catch a foreign language so easily. And so it is advisable that we teach them in 2 languages that make them easy to understand. But that does not also mean that we keep on teaching them in native language as well. Like it's very, very important that they get into some sort of learning in English as well.
Thank you. That was very well put. Thank you so much, Rayel. Do we